Okay, we're back. All right. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Living Blessed, the podcast. I'm your host, Jovan J. Palmer. And like I said, everybody who comes on the podcast, they are special people. And I got a special brother here, Jordan Carter, live from Baltimore. But I didn't do it no justice, so I'm going to let you do your own intro, man. Tell everybody who you are, brother.
It's your boy, Jordan Carter, coming at you live, man, with another video. Those who see me, I know I'm coming with the energy. I'm an entrepreneur. I love to motivate people, inspire people, and just make a difference in the world.
Yeah, man, your energy is always on 1,000.
Yeah, I gotta come with the energy.
On 1,000. I think the first time I met you in person, I was like, this brother got some energy is on fleek. It's up there, man. Have you always been this way?
I've always been. What's weird is people that know me, like when I'm in like by myself, people be like, "Why you not like super pumped up?" Because I use that energy on times like this.
Times where it needs to
time to be actually used.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. So Baltimore, right?
I'm originally from Baltimore. Grown up in Zone 15.
Zone 15.
Like I didn't even knew, like when I was younger, we didn't even knew it was the East Side Baltimore because we rep West Side so hard. And we.
So all you knew was West Side Baltimore.
All we knew was Zone 15. It's like still to this day people that never left that area.
Really?
That never left that. You can get everything right through there. Like the pants man, the people that sold the clothes, people that sold socks, people the convenience store.
So they make it easy for you. They're pretty much convenient. They make it convenient for you to just stay there. It's like, why do I need to leave Baltimore, West Baltimore for when everything I need is right here?
Exactly.
Wow. So, all right, cool. So obviously you're here in Atlanta. So you got out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Made it out. Like,
I'm not saying you made it out, but I don't know.
How we consider it. Like I just watched an interview about like Lil Baby. He was talking about like how making it out the trap, and it's weird because it's like when you're so in that space and that's all you know is that block and that area and that zone and them couple 10, 12 people. Literally what we used to do when we was kids, our daily thing, we used to walk around the block. We used to walk around like we walk down. Anybody that knows from Baltimore would know. We walk down Haywood, walk down Cordelia, walk back down Belvedere, come back up Haywood, and that was our daily walk when we walked through the neighborhood. But it was never like, oh, let's go on the bus and go somewhere, or let's go catch a train, or let's go, nah.
It was just circling the block.
We were just in the hood all the time.
Hey, what was that like?
Being in the hood all the time is like, all you start knowing is hood stuff.
Yeah.
All you start doing is hood stuff. We just knew, like, you know, when you from Baltimore, you know about the bikes. When the bikes come out, the dirt bikes ride. Everybody's why we known in Baltimore for the 12 o'clock boys.
What's that?
So that's what the dirt bike crew, when you said 12 o'clock boys, that mean they picking the bike straight in the air like a 12.
Oh.
right. Yeah. So
okay.
You learn different things being in Baltimore than other places because Baltimore is one of them places where a lot of people, but I say a lot of people say that anywhere they go, like, if you can survive in Baltimore, you can survive anywhere.
Really? So what do you...
The only thing that people know about Baltimore when they watch TV is The Wire and Get Off the Corner.
Of course. Yeah. So in your opinion, what's worse? New York City, or Baltimore?
Baltimore is worse because it's smaller. New York City, you can get so much... Like, I've been to New York City a few times. You can get so much information. Like, you got Manhattan, Long Island.
Right.
You got Harlem. Like, you got so many different, people. Like, I didn't even know different types of people until I stepped out of Baltimore. We didn't ever even look at, like, oh, this person, like I didn't ever know that, like, until I went to New York, that some people can actually speak broken Spanish in New York. Like, I didn't know that until I went there.
I neither.
Right. I didn't know until I got out of Baltimore. I thought everybody... Like when I went to, everybody ate chicken wings and fries, and that was like our culture. Get a chicken box, half and half. Like that's what we did. People were like, oh, half and half, what's that?
Yeah, I wouldn't know either. You said 10 pieces.
Yeah, see, like we just thought that's how we all talk. That's how we all moved.
Word. So Baltimore was rough and a rough experience, and it had to be a traumatizing experience, right?
Yes, sir. Baltimore, we learned a lot. We learned a lot through a lot of trauma. And people, what I learned also, as I grew older and started understanding people, is that people is try to escape so much. That's why people, like right now when I go to Baltimore, a lot of people popping pills, a lot of people getting high, a lot of people getting drunk. Like I feel like a lot of times when most people, when they working at 9 to 5, and then they go out on the weekends to get drunk, they trying to escape something.
Yeah, for sure. So what was your escape? Like
I used to smoke weed. I used to smoke a lot of weed. When I grew up, I grew up with my grandparents.
Got you.
And my grandfather and my grandmother, they pretty much raised me until I was like 16. My mama died when I was 3. So I really had to figure out my community. Like that's what's different now. The community kind of raised me.
Yeah.
My community pretty much gave us a lot of energy and stuff like that for me and my sister. But mostly the hard work ethic came from my grandmother.
Got you. Now, what did she instill in you?
She instilled me as far as respect, hard work. You gonna work for everything that you gonna get.
Gotcha.
You gotta work. Like but the thing about it is she was the person that she never even thought about the idea of going to the islands or going somewhere like.
Yeah.
She never even spoke about any of that.
I mean, I think that's like a lot of the older generation, though. I don't believe I've ever heard my grandparents talk about wanting to travel outside of the United States, really, like that for real. So I think it's just that generation where they just know what they know, they're comfortable in what they know.
My grandmother was she worked at a warehouse, so she worked at a warehouse for over 20-something years. So her whole mindset was work ethic. You're gonna work hard. You're gonna work. Go to church on Sunday. Back to work on Monday through Friday. This is what she do.
And the same thing over and over.
The same thing over and over. Clean up the neighborhood on Saturday with the neighborhood block community, and going back to work. That was her life every single day.
And that was a life that you knew as well. So it's like, in a sense, you're kind of incorporating that same type of lifestyle in a sense. Like,
work ethic. Work ethic.
Like, I got to work, I got to go to church on Sundays or go to work Monday through Friday, like you said, clean up the block on Saturdays, and it's back over and over again.
Yeah, I think one thing that she instilled in me was caring for others.
Yeah.
Making sure you show
very
love.
Caring person.
Yeah, make sure you show love to people. Never, never treat people, no matter what they got, never treat people, look down on people. She always instilled that inside of me.
Word. So earlier you were talking about, you had went, you went from Baltimore, you lived born and raised in Baltimore, then you went to LA, right?
So my whole thing of even going to LA was for comedy. That was my first thing of exposure.
So before LA, what got you into comedy then? Have you always been like, you just pop out the room, like a ton of jokes?
No. What it really was, my grandmother passed away when I was like 15, 16. That's why when I go to these places and I be speaking as students and I can already see the student that's like me.
Yeah.
You really need that attention. You need people to see you.
Got you.
I used to always have.
So you need somebody to kind of see you in a sense. So telling jokes was the way.
I didn't need people to see me because I wanted to act out. I wanted to act out in school because I didn't get that at home. When my grandmother passed away, my grandfather at the time, he was schizophrenic, he was bipolar. And my uncle had just came from jail, he was living in the basement. So now it's to the point that the only person I knew that actually cared about me at the time was my grandmother. That was my heart. You feel me? So when she passed away, all I knew was we smoking weed in my block. People in my community would care about me, but I was smoking weed to get that escape.
So where are your parents at?
My father at the time, he was living over there. He was living on a whole other side of Baltimore, but at the same time, he was just doing his thing. He was trying to get himself together.
Got you.
My mama died when I was 3.
Oh, wow. How'd you pass?
She passed from cancer.
Dang.
So that was the thing of, I never really had that mom.
That mom. Yeah.
So that also built a lot of trauma in me, sleeping with different women.
Yeah.
Putting toxic energy on different people.
Looking for what you were hoping to have in a mom inside these different women and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I feel you. Got you. So walk us through that journey of, losing moms, not really having dad in the picture, having to have grandma become mama, grandpa become dad, and what is that like as a child growing up? Because typically as a child, you're supposed to have your parents there to nurture you and to groom you and all that types of stuff and teach you about, manhood and how to treat a woman and all that type of stuff. But then now you got your grandparents who are generations from you. So it's like there's a separation between y'all two. Like, what's that like growing up in that area?
See, my grandmother always loved me, regardless on this, like even when I got locked up. No matter what I was going through, my grandmother always. I was the black sheep.
That's grandmama.
Yeah, I was the black sheep of the family. When I was wild, I was crazy. I used to run around with goals in my mouth. I was wild, but she always like, oh, that's my baby. That's my. She would always be like, that's my baby.
You do no wrong in her eyes.
I couldn't do no wrong in her eyes.
Yeah.
From smoking weed, whatever I was doing, I couldn't do no wrong in her eyes. But at the same time, the way my grandfather instilled, the information that he instilled in me was, it was never on no sissy stuff. You're gonna be a man.
You're gonna be a man.
You're gonna be a man.
He was a man. Yeah, he was a man's man. Like, you gotta be hard.
You gotta be a man.
Yeah.
You see Ali, fight like Ali. Like that was his. That was his word.
Right. So
like,
it's
he always instilled into me, even though he was an alcoholic and he was schizophrenic. His mindset.
He still had that good mindset to where like
own something. Own something. That's all he was saying. At the end of the day, like when I was 16 years old, I was so upset and I was going through so much trauma because my man would come in the door, cuss me out, call me all kinds of names.
Your grandfather?
Yeah, my grandfather. after my grandmother passed away. So my man would just be wilding on me.
Dang.
And he would put me out. He was like, yo, get out, this is my house. But the information I actually got out of it was the fact that he owned something.
Yeah.
It's my house. I can kick you out anytime I want to kick you out.
And you ain't got nothing, so there's nothing you can do about it.
Ain't nothing I can do about it.
Dang. So you kicked out. Where are you going when he kicks you out?
The community take care of him. I had one of my close friends. Shout out to my man Cool. It was weird because I felt love in a hood. Like it was like a real weird situation. Even though like people would consider it like as being one of the hood houses, I felt love in the house.
I mean,
one of the people that was in the house was my man was on drugs. Junkie Tony. Junkie Tony was in the house. Junkie Tony climbed up on a pole, fixed electricity. Like my man was wild.
Yeah.
We smoked, we drunk, we hung out, we played cards. But at the same time, they all like, yo, you going to school tomorrow. Like,
so they still looking out for you.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you still going to like, we're going to be your parents in a sense.
Yeah, they showed me love as like family.
Yeah, because a lot of people look at the hood and be like, yo, there's nothing good that can come out of it.
They looked at me as, when they brought me in, it was never like, oh, nah, bro, on that type time.
Right.
They looked at me as like, it's family.
Yeah, for sure.
They took me in, no question. You want something to eat? We got
you.
something to eat. Yeah, it's love.
Man, so like, what was it like? Because you're getting love from a community, but at the same time, the person you look at as that father figure is still pushing you out from him.
I ain't gonna lie, I hated my man for a minute. I hated him even when he passed away. I remember I was in Miami. It was like, I wasn't like upset.
So they called you like, yo, Papa died. You was
I was just like, whatever. But
you go to the funeral?
I went to the funeral.
Okay.
But I was just like,
I'm just here to see us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you here to view somebody you really don't know.
But at the end of the day, when I started to realize the trauma he had going on, his daughter passed away from cancer when he was 3 years old. As a man to watch your daughter, and you supposed to be the man's man. You can't do nothing to protect her.
That hurt him in a way that so it's right. Pretty much, he's dealing with some undealt with trauma in the sense to where he doesn't know how to release that trauma from him. It's not what he's doing. He's kind of like pushing his trauma on you.
Exactly.
Or everybody who kind of comes in. So you say he's one of these schizophrenic, alcoholic.
Exactly.
That's a lot to deal with, especially as a child.
And then he was in the military.
And in the military, so he got PTSD as well.
Exactly. So he just was. That's what I said. No sissy stuff. No, he wasn't on none of that. Like,
yeah. No, I get it, man. But that's tough, man, because like you're jumping into the comedy now.
It was a weird space. Mind you, you're 15, 14 years old, 15. I'm gonna say 15 to 16. It's a weird space because you went from a place where grandma and them love you so much. Yeah. And this is grandma's second. Yeah, she's showing you so much love.
Right.
So now she's gone.
Yeah, bring the mic a little closer right here. See, no, you just need to see. Just slide the mic over some.
So now she's gone.
Right, bring it over. Like, all right. Pick it up. There we go. Yep.
We good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now she's gone and everything is different. Yeah. From what it was. And now the community got raised you. And then my man, like I said, my uncle just came out from jail, so he pretty much. So when he going to school, it's like, yo, you want to get up and go to school? All right, you ain't got to. Cool.
Dang, you was loving that.
It was a little bit upset because the way I was raised, like my grandma, we used to wake up in the morning we had a family thing.
Yeah.
We used to wake up to.
So you disappointed now, like you're not carrying the traditions.
Yeah, we had like every Monday it's a routine. We wake up 7 o'clock in the morning. She got the gospel playing. We iron our clothes. We get our stuff together for work. Yeah. Like it's a process.
Right. Go ahead, keep on.
But at the same time now, things are completely different. Yeah. When she passed away, my sister went to college. Completely different now. So I had to really learn how to survive.
So what was learning to survive? Because of course, if someone is doing for you, especially as a kid, right? And what does that survival look like for you?
So, in the hood, growing up in the hood, from being in Westside Baltimore, you see the dope man. You see the guy with the flashy rides. You see my man ride. That becomes the person that you look up to.
Right.
You want to be something. You want to have many sex partners that he had. You want to have many nice cars he had.
That's who you're looking up to now.
That's who you're looking up to. That's your role model. That's your big bro. So now everything has changed. Yeah. That also make you change. That is, now you're looking at that person to really, okay, he got me now. I ain't even looking at my pops. I ain't looking at what they got going on. I'm looking at,
this is it.
This is what I want to do something as this field. So then people wanted to be like in the hood, from where I'm from, you either go on rap, you play ball, you're doing something with a mic, you're doing something entertainment or football, something like that. That was the only way we thought of getting out of the hood.
Right. So throughout that process, you know, you're looking up to, you know, the big homie of the neighborhood now. He's pretty much like big brother to us.
Yeah, he was more like big bro, but then we had like cliques. It was like, oh, that's my best friend at the time, his brother was like my big brother, so we always a family. It was like a tribe.
So everybody just kind of clicking together. Yeah. So what is it like, you know, as far as just growing? So like, you're saying you want to live his lifestyle, so are you actually really like putting yourself into his life as far as like,
we running around, like I was on that. I was on that type of time, but I knew my heart really wasn't in there. I was on that type of time. Like if you just sit, like if Instagram was around back then, I had like the bandanas on my neck and like braids to the side, goes in my mouth. Like I was wild. I was wilding then. Like I wasn't even. I was on some like I'm cool with if I die today tomorrow, I'm cool with that.
Wait, what?
I'm cool with the process with that.
Why?
Because I'm out here. I'm hurt. All that trauma that was going on in my life at the time. I'm smoking and drinking at 13, 14 years old. I'm doing anything to just day by day. That's
just
what I said. Just to get by.
So what's the? You're talking about trauma, man, and you're saying like the trauma is there. Like, what is these traumas besides, you know, of course, you know, mom's passing is a trauma. You got big mama passing is a trauma.
Right.
Being cussed at by grandpa is a trauma. Dad not being there is a trauma. Would you say the community was a trauma in a sense?
The community, I don't say, I say it was a trauma, but it was the only way that we didn't look at it like, oh, I never thought about going to work and get a 9 to 5. I seen what happened to my grandmother.
Yeah.
We hustling.
She lived.
Yeah, I see my big bro got a Porsche riding through the hood. Like,
he's hustling
into
9 to 5.
Yeah, he's hustling. So I'm like, he got the baddest shit, got money. We got to figure out.
I want this too.
Yeah, I want this too.
So how did you get that?
No, the thing about me, I tried to get that, but then I had people. That's why I say you got to have people around you that's really good people.
I thought about selling drugs one time too.
No, I did it. I did it for a little bit.
I didn't do it.
I wasn't good.
I got scared. I got scared. I had a dream that night, and the dogs come to get me.
It started with the little bit of weed. You know, that's like the first thing people don't be something a little bit of weed. I was smoking weed at the time, so it wasn't good. It was like smoking on Friday.
So clearly you didn't listen to the tape.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to Biggie.
Nah, I didn't listen to Biggie at the time. I wasn't listening to Biggie. I was smoking weed at the same time I was selling weed. So
you smoking your supply? Pretty
much.
Biggie said never get high on your own supply.
I definitely smoke my supply.
So pretty much you like Smokey, and you owe Big Worm.
Yeah, it was, and actually it so happened the guy that I did owe was a big dude. So he looked at me like. At the time we was kids, so he looked at me like, bro,
what are you doing?
We ain't gonna have you do this no more, bro. Just go ahead somewhere.
Just chalk it up.
Yeah, you ain't doing this.
That's good because in other cases that we know of, had you owe somebody some money,
right?
They coming for you,
right?
The family, everybody you connected to, to get their money.
But
that's love though. Like I see how you're saying the community was love because the fact that one, he brought you into something that you probably should have been doing anyway.
Exactly.
But it was still the fact that he saw that you just didn't have the heart for it because.
But my thing is, I don't know if that was God sent, but I always had people at that time, at certain points in time in my life, that always curved me. They always curved me when I was about to get, like, I'm wilding. Yeah, I'm wilding. Yeah. Like, the reason why, even to this day, I don't smoke cigarettes, because I had one of my partners, when I remember growing up, I just talked to him the other day, my man Jimmy. I remember us being 13 years old, we walking down the street, all drunk, everybody,
13, drunk.
13, 14 years old, we was outside with, mind you, we listening to Boosie. We listen to Boosie. We outside, set it off.
Boosie, do it to you.
Yeah, we outside. We not thinking about anything. We outside, we turned up.
13.
We drinking Naughty Head gin at 13.
Who?
Naughty Head Seagum gin.
Ooh.
13, 14 years old. Because that's $4 or $5 of liquor.
How y'all getting this though?
Dope fiend, my man out the front.
Hey, here's $5. Go grab something, get yourself something too.
There you go. We all put up $3 to the bottle. Boom. The whole fifth of it is 10.
Yeah, cause gin ain't expensive.
Yeah.
I've never seen an expensive gin.
It's not expensive
How
at all.
did you? I hate gin. How do you?
We was told from older heads, it put hair on your chest. So then now we drinking it. We think it's about to make more bass in our voice and hair on our chest. So we want to grow up so fast.
Dang.
But my man Jimmy was like, yo, if you smoke that cigarette, yo, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. I ain't gonna never forget. I still remember this to this day. Like,
have you ever tried?
I did. Damn, you ain't gonna punch my mouth. He punched me in my mouth. But mind you, Jimmy was a known fighter. Everybody knew Jimmy in the hood for fighting. So when he punched me in my mouth, I was like, I really don't want no smoke. I didn't want no smoke. So I just was like, next person walked down the street, I'm gonna punch him in the mouth. I didn't want to punch Jimmy in the mouth, but you had
to punch somebody in the mouth. Back.
Exactly.
Dang.
Right.
13.
13, 14 years old.
Wow.
We was drinking. I'm gonna say 15, 14 years old, we was smoking. So now we drinking, smoking, having sex. Drinking, smoking, and have sex just to escape trauma.
Dang. So, as you're trying to escape it, you're saying you're 14, 15 right now.
Right.
You're still in school, of course, right?
Right. I'm still going to school.
Because the community say, yo, you got to go.
But the crazy, like I said, people just in your life, the curve you. I had teachers that was like, yo, I saw something in you. I know, like I remember teachers coming to me when I was in high school would tell me like, yo, it's something in you that's different than a lot of other students.
You've always had that.
I always had that. That's actually was one of the, I got a teacher named Sean Swanson.
The male teacher?
The male teacher.
You had a male teacher. I didn't get my first male teacher until college.
He was a white guy. Mind you, I got suspended for pushing him out the hallway.
You a teacher?
Yeah, for pushing him out. I was just wilding. I was tripping. I pushed him out the hallway. Mind you, I disrespected that man. Disrespecting him, I got suspended for it. I'm gonna say probably 2 months go by. He was one of the main people that actually got me into the intro to media class to write for the school paper.
Word.
He was one of the main people that actually helped me.
So you're a writer?
I started, that was my first freedom of speech thing, was writing for the newspaper.
That's dope. How was that?
That was great. The teacher name was Amy Ensign. I just looked at it as a thing of being a freedom, not at the time I was listening to pop. So I always wanted to be something for the people.
Yeah.
How can we, so you mean to tell me I can write something about the principal in this paper and it's gonna get published to people and it's being a voice for the students? Let's do it.
So what were you writing? What's some of the type of things you're writing?
Like for example, I wrote one, I remember this one article because it was a big thing. I wrote one article, it was about the principal, how he don't care about the students. So when you're doing
You wrote that?
I wrote it.
They didn't kick you out?
No, actually the teacher backed me because I had all the steps and the levels to create an actual, I had the interview, I had the thesis, I had the whole breakdown of everything that's needed to do an article.
Wow.
So she was like, well, this is the voice. So I always wanted to stand for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely did.
Yeah, that was my thing.
So like, what was next? Like, you're in high school, 15 years in high school right now.
Yeah, coming out of high school. When I came out of high school, I knew I wanted to do something different, and I always was funny. I was doing comedy in high school. Like people knew me. My first comedy name was J.O. the Jinx. People knew me as doing J.O. the Jinx.
J.O. the Jinx.
Yeah, in the hood people called me J.O. So I tried to do something different. Like I know that was a whack name. I know it was super whack.
I'm glad you called it.
It was super whack. But I was trying to do something different than being hard and aggressive.
Right.
Everybody's trying to
kind of like loosen yourself up.
Everybody's trying to be super hard and be super tough and super gangster, and I'm being a comedian.
Right.
So I'm stepping out of my element of doing something different right there, that exposure. Through that, going in them little open mics, watching them little comedy spots, I start meeting new people. People that's not from Zone 15.
Yeah.
So I started meeting people that had a different mindset. And that little bit of exposure changed my life.
Yeah.
I started meeting different mentors, people that would mentor me. When they see me, my first mentor, Sean Banks, he was the first person that saw me and was like, bro.
That name sounds familiar.
He's a director. He directed the movie O with Common in it.
Okay.
But he the first person when he saw me, he said, it ain't even about you doing comedy and I do this. He said, the fact that I see that fire in your eyes, you ready to do it. If I say, let's go do it right now, you be ready to do it right now. With no hesitation, you and I was. I'm like, yeah, bro, like.
Let's do it.
Let's do it right now.
Dang. No hesitation.
No hesitation, and we can go do that joint right now. He was the first person that exposed me actually to actual celebrities and stuff. Like, he's the first person that was like, yo, you can really write a movie and film it. I was in the hood shooting a movie, trying to figure it out. People was laughing at me like, yo, you ain't gonna never be on TV until they see me on TV.
What you been on?
I did commercials. I was doing commercials. I've been on,
Like local joints?
Yeah, I did commercials. Like when BET had like a little thing when Kevin Hart kind of thing. They had like a commercial. They was letting comedians do like on a commercial for a Kevin Hart movie.
Yeah.
Like a little promotion. That was like my first commercial. So when people seen that, it was like, oh, you on that? You popping?
Yeah.
Then when I moved to LA, I was on 2 other commercials with that too. So it was like people start seeing the commercial nationwide. I was on a TV
you were
show.
nationwide commercials?
Yeah,
wow.
nationwide. Bro, it's just crazy how people can change completely.
Yeah.
Off of a 30-second video that didn't even say no more money. Bro, I knew you had it in you. I had people that was hitting me up from high school. Oh man, your life is just different. Oh man.
Just jumping on the bandwagon all of a sudden.
Yeah, everything was completely different.
So how'd you get out to LA? You just mentioned LA, right?
Yeah, so the thing about, I'm a backtrack on it before I say that. So what happened was, I always had, as I said, a strong black sister always in my life too. Besides the community, my sister was always like the person before I knew about therapists, that was my therapist.
Gotcha.
So she, at the time I was working a little warehouse job. And I was like, man, I don't really feel like, doing this little flight thing. So I started to do some stuff with the flight thing. I was like a temp agency or something like that. And she was like, if you can get in the door, just go ahead and work there. I wound up getting hired working with Southwest.
Word, okay.
So when I got hired working with Southwest, that actually opened doors for me to get other places. So I started doing I did before I turned 25.
Fly for free.
Exactly. So I was doing, I'm not even no cap. I did at least 20 cities before I turned 25. I was everywhere. But that's what I always had in the mindset. I'm gonna outwork everybody. I don't care if it's 10 of y'all, 6 of y'all teaming up. I'm gonna outwork you. I got that work ethic. That's all I really was like. I always had that mindset of, I knew people that was and every summer somebody's gonna die in the summer. That's always a given. Somebody's gonna get locked up. That's always a given. I'd rather take my chances on the road before I take my chances.
So you're flying, you're going to all these cities. Are you just going to go visit?
No, I'm getting on stage.
Oh.
I'm popping up. I'm pulling up. What's up?
You're finding just pop-up comedy shops or whatever it might be.
I'm doing my own research. I'm doing my own research. I reach out, but this is before Instagram was Instagram.
Yeah.
So I'm
on Google.
Yeah, I'm on Google. I'm gonna call you. If I find out somebody networking, just figuring out who know this person. Boom, reach out to that person. How can I reach out to them? Just figuring out little things. I might pop in your city just to watch you, and then just how can I network with you, shake your hand.
Yeah.
Then I'm on your show.
Oh, so you was out there.
Yeah, but I went through the process.
Where'd that grind come from? Because that's
my grandma worked in the warehouse.
So that grind was, so you changed the grind of the 9 to 5 into the entrepreneurial.
I put that same energy
into what you want to do.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I took that same grind and said, if I'm gonna die doing this comedy thing,
I'm good.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that.
I feel you. Okay. So did the job take you to LA?
The job, no, honestly, the true story, I'm gonna be truthful. The true story was I was finna get fired because I was doing some wild, goofy stuff. I was being lazy on the job. Because I knew my heart wasn't in it. My heart was really into comedy.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do comedy. And at the same time, customer service, I always had people that really genuinely liked who I was. So I had one of the guys who was a supervisor at the time. He was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. He said, they finna fire you. He said, they finna fire you, but I'm gonna tell you, these cities right here is open up. And that's one thing I like.
For another job or just somewhere to go?
No, just another go, just to go.
Okay.
So one thing I listened to, I said I was big on pop, and I always remember me and my big old mouth. I started telling, man, I can go anywhere and make it. I could do anything, just putting myself out there, just talking, whatever.
For sure.
Man, send me over LA. I'm about to make it over there for real. And then once they accepted me, I was like, oh, I gotta go. I really gotta go to LA.
So you had a job in LA waiting for you?
I had a job, but I didn't know anybody over there.
What was the job?
I worked for Southwest over there.
Oh, so you transferred from Southwest in Baltimore
to over there.
To LA?
Yeah, it was a transfer.
Oh, so you were still working?
I was still working there.
Got you. Okay.
But the first week of working there.
In LA?
They fired me.
Dang.
So all
How
that.
you fired in a week? Was it your day off?
I just didn't. I didn't understand the process. I didn't understand. Mind you, I'm from Baltimore. Even though I flew all these places, I never flew to LA. I never knew that how the Hispanic culture actually worked. I didn't know.
What Hispanics got to do with it?
Because it's different out there. Hispanics that I meet in Baltimore, they didn't have the same demeanor out there.
I'm confused. I'm a little slow. So help me understand.
No, I'm saying, like how you see, like down here, you know, the demographic of Atlanta is black folks.
For sure.
The demographic in LA is Hispanics.
Got you.
So when you say, oh yeah, it's us, no, now it's way more Hispanics now.
Got you.
So all that, what you thought, you feeling talk to them like that? No.
Oh,
it's not going down there no more.
Got you. So it's more so like in Baltimore, there's a smaller population
Yeah.
where black people, we dominated them in a sense.
Yeah, now.
And then you go into LA with that same mentality, like, yo, I'm still about to turn up. Y'all about to do this. I ain't doing this. But they're like, yeah, nah, like,
we ain't on that.
We got a whole crew right behind us.
Yeah, we on a whole different vibe than what y'all on. I don't know what you on.
They some killers out in LA.
Yeah, they just on a whole different vibe. They moving completely different.
Yeah. Okay. All right, good. Continue.
Right. So when I got out there to LA and I got fired in a week, I actually got fired because my phone alarm didn't go off. But that's why I tell people also the process. I was already getting ready to get fired in Baltimore. All it took was that one step.
You get fired in Baltimore. You get to LA for a week. Get fired in LA for a week.
Got fired in a week. And that was the first time where I realized that 9 to 5 really don't care. I'm just a number. My employee number was 105335. I knew I was a number.
You remembered that?
I was working there. Like,
I
had to get that check. That's how I remember that number.
Okay.
So I realized that I'm just a number.
Yeah.
When they fired me, I was homeless at the time. I ain't had nothing.
So you
I ain't even know
just
nobody
moved to LA with nowhere to stay.
I just had the dream. If I could get out there, I just had the grind.
So
if I could
fell
just
for the trap.
Definitely fell for that trap.
You fell for the LA dream.
I fell for that LA dream, and I felt like if I could just get out here,
I can make it. That's all I need.
If I could just get out here, I can show them people that Jordan Carter is coming to you live, baby. If I can just get out here, I can show you that I can do something. I'm about to go ahead and rescue, because like I said, I always care about people.
Yeah.
If I go out here, I can change my family's life forever.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But then it started happening. People start seeing me like on the big stages with Mike Epps. People start seeing me on big stages.
Oh, you was out here?
Yeah, I was really doing. I got pictures. Like I had breakfast with Cat Williams. Like I was doing all this great comedy stuff, which was really going great.
Yeah.
I did all the big rooms out there in LA. I was really about that life.
What's the big rooms?
So you got the Comedy Inn, you got the Comedy Inn, you got the what's the joint on Sunset? If you're on Sunset and you're on Hollywood, you got what is it? The Laugh Factory. You got the Laugh Factory. You got the Comedy Store.
Oh, there's a lot of comedy places out there.
Yeah, that's the Mecca besides New York. That's the Mecca like comedy.
Really?
If you're trying to do the acting thing, that's where you go. I was just wanting to get up on stage. I wanted to show people this is what I do. I'm a comedian. This is what I do. I'm passionate about. But I was the first person in Baltimore that was on that. So I had a lot of stuff that was riding on me anyway. Like, oh, if I could just show people Baltimore, we out here. I can make a difference for my people back home.
Yeah. So what is it? So let's step into your life as a comedian. Let's step into Jordan Carter, the comedian.
Got it.
What is it like being a comedian? Because like everybody think they can tell a good joke. Like every now and then I think I can tell an amazing joke to make somebody laugh and smile.
Great.
You're a comedian. Like you do it. Like you hop on stages and the mic is in your hand and you're like talking to people.
But the thing about it is being a comedian. But people don't realize that's why you think about people like Robin Williams. People really go through stuff mentally.
Oh, for sure.
Being a comedian.
I think I've heard that from every comedian. Like, you're like Kevin Hart, the whole Laugh My Pain.
Was the whole thing was about him and his pain. Yeah. My first real joke, my mentor told me, he said, you will never be free until you talk about something real in your life. That was my first time really going up on stage and telling people, like I said, and that was the true thing. I remember being homeless and God knocked on my window and said, my man, you can't sleep here. You gotta keep it moving. And I pulled off and I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't got nowhere to go.
So you was out there with the car?
Yeah, once I got my car shipped over there, I skipped that part, my bad. I got a car, because I was like, I ain't finna be out here laying anyway. I need to get me a whip. If I get a whip, I can go to these different rooms.
Got you. Okay.
That's why I was like, I really picked the whip over actually having a house. Because I'm like,
smart. You got somewhere to at least lay your head for a little bit, and then to get you to A and B where you need to get to.
Yeah, but you being tied in a four-door Honda Accord, it's not really a good situation.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, I definitely could imagine.
Yeah, so that right there had changed the game for me completely when I got over there completely. The comedy, it also showed me how fake life was.
Okay.
How people were on stage, off, like how that show business can be a lot of pressure.
I bet.
I saw people that was doing speechless things for stage time. I saw people that was just doing anything. They would sell out. They would just do whatever they thought they just was doing.
Just to get on the big stage.
Just to get on the big stage.
So what kept you from like doing that, or did you do some of that?
No, didn't do that. Didn't do that. But I feel like I appreciate that for asking. But principles and morals, and I had people that was in my community was like that supported me when I first started, and they told me like, we'll always support you, regardless if you're funny or not. We'll always support you, but don't go put that dress on. The moment we put that dress on,
it's over for you.
It's over for you.
Yeah, dang. So you out in LA, you telling comedy, like, you're telling these jokes on these stages. You're homeless.
Right.
In LA.
Right.
You sleep in your car, so you gotta be hot as I don't know what.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you the thing about sleeping in the car. I would drive places like the Beverly Hills, and I would drive up there and just sit on the hill just so I could see the houses. I always had like that Dolomite effect.
Vision.
Yeah, like I always had that vision that if I could just get in one of these spaces, if I could just see this, if I could just make this thing happen. People, like things that like people took for granted every single day.
Yeah.
Like I remember a particular time that was really the change that was inside of me. At one particular time when I was homeless, I remember sleeping in a parking structure, and it was looking through this hotel window, and somebody was laying on the bed, and they was flicking the channels, and I was thinking to myself, like, if I could just get in there, if I could just get in there, that could change my life.
Just into a hotel.
Just if I could just get in a room anywhere. 9 o'clock in the morning, I wound up going up in that room.
The same room.
The same room. I ran up in that room. But that's how I said people take for granted. So you can't never take things for granted. I got in it because, when you're homeless, you're thinking of survival.
For sure.
You're definitely thinking about survival. I know in my mind, average person is checking out between 9 and 10. It's when the average person check out. So if I walk the floors and just get in one room, I can go in there and use the bathroom. Like I really want to go use the bathroom.
So it's like you're walking the floors inside the hotel and you're waiting for them to walk out, and you're kind of like walking by them and catching their door before it closes.
The door, like the holder that's in the middle, the lock thing.
Yeah.
So that's no me in there for the cleaners to come in and clean up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna slide in there and go on my shirt off that I've been waiting to rock anyway. You feel me? I'm gonna go in and slide in there. I'm gonna go ahead and lay on the bed for just 2 minutes.
That's all you need.
Just all I need is to lay on the bed. I'm gonna use the bathroom the way I want to use the bathroom. I'm gonna take a small shower if I can take a small shower. I'm gonna steal that soap if I can. You're trying to survive.
And you were doing this for how long?
Man, I did that for about 3 months. I had to play the wild thing about being homeless, and I haven't really told a lot of people this story. The craziest part about it, your mind is just in different places.
Yeah.
I knew at 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning, that's when they get that luxury breakfast. I would go into the hotels, 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning, get one big meal, so I won't have to pay for no food the rest of the day.
Smart.
Then they start getting hit. I gotta go.
Wait, man, we see you in too much.
Yeah, they see me in here too much, and I start getting comfortable, going in different doors and stuff like that.
Oh, so you thought that was your place?
Yeah, I pretty much would go there. I started off on Sundays. I would go there for my Sunday meal. And then I started making it Mondays, my Wednesday day. Like,
hey, man, we don't see you checking
key
or nothing.
It started to get real interesting. But I took that same story and I put it on stage, made it funny.
So make it funny to me right now.
For me right now to tell you that story, so I'm gonna tell you the story.
You have to be in like the
comedy way, or I gotta. So for example, how I would set it up would be, I would tell you how I would set it up as the joke. I would set it up, for example, like when I remember one particular time when I walked into the hotel, and the guy tapped me on my shoulder, was like, "My man, what room are you staying in?" I was like, "Oh, 305."
Making up random
Kept
numbers.
on, mind you, I started out with pancake, bacon, egg, waffle. Then when my man tapped me, now I'm setting them down so I can get just enough stuff to run with. So when he come back, what's your name? Oh, Brandon Jenkins. So now I'm just grabbing and ghosting. Now from them pancakes and stuff turned into just a banana and cereal now. So now he's like, oh, your name is not on. I said, oh man, you should check my wife. my wife's name is Lisa Mitchell's. So he went to go check her name.
So you still trying to rummage some stuff?
Now I'm just putting candy bars in my pocket now, and I'm trying to act like I'm on the phone. He called the police and everything, and they came up there. They was like, we never should see you in here ever again. That was the end of that part.
They didn't lock you up.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't lock me up.
Dang, so like, what was next? Where you at next?
So what I did from there was found a new little hotel spot.
Same play over.
Yeah, for a situation. But then I started to really getting into a swing of things of understanding the process. I started going into the library. First book I read was called Think Rich, Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That was the first book that made me feel smart. Like, I got some information, I'm reading, I'm studying, I'm going to, library free. I'm going to the library every day just to get information. I read that book. Then I read the Dennis Kimbrough version, Think Rich, Grow Rich. That's where I was like getting the most information. Like, I'm going to the library to read.
Dang.
So, like, and then that's the air conditioner in there.
LA is hot.
Yeah.
LA is definitely hot.
I definitely went in there for the air conditioner too.
Yeah.
I started to learn so much stuff just going in the library. And then when I had conversation with people thought I was super intelligent. I'm
right.
Just been hanging in the library for a little minute.
I mean, that's dope though, because I would never imagine just going to the library, just go hang out. Like when I was in college, my homeboy had to force me to go to the library to pull my grades up. So it's just like, there's still something inside of you, like you said, that community love telling you, you need to go to school. And it's like, I think that was what was inside of you at that time in LA, saying, you still need to go to, still perfect your craft in a sense, still build upon your education.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just really wanted to also be sharp.
Yeah.
I wanted to be sharp. I wanted to make sure I kept myself sharp. Still was doing my room, still was hitting the stages, still doing performance, still doing getting up. But at the same time about it, I wasn't making no money.
Yeah.
This is all just having fun. This is all just, I'm doing this for my passion and my dreams and whatever, but I wasn't making no money. So where your passion and your power came from.
Okay. That's the brand now.
Yeah, that's the brand now. So where did it come from was I started to meet people and people were just like, kind of like, about their dreams, or like, the first video that I had put out was, you can't say the word can't without saying kin.
Can't say a word.
You can't say the word can't without saying kin, C-A-N. So I was just like, yo, we gonna put this video out, and we gonna be like, I was super fired up, like, you can look this joint up. Like, I was running the treadmill, I had my homegirl record it, I was like,
so you was really running before Wallow started running.
Yeah, like, people don't realize that, how I really was like, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, Wallow, I respect Wallow.
Yeah, for sure. That's
that's big homie, but at the same time, I was already doing motivational, like, and cause I looked at, cause when people like, yo man, you doing the running videos like Wallow, woo woo. But I said, yo, I looked at and scrolled through and went all through my whole Instagram. I already had motivational. It was already in me.
So what made you want to get into like the motivational realm? Because like everybody says they're a motivational speaker nowadays. Yeah. That's the grand bio on Instagram. The motivational speaker, blah blah blah. But it's what made you say, what turned you into a motivational speaker for real, outside of comedy, of course? I was doing shows with, I ain't gonna say the comedian's name because I ain't gonna diss them. Yeah, but cool. I started doing big rooms with big comedians, like headliner, the great comedians. And they would tell me all the time, like, yo, we ain't going back in the hood to speak to nobody. Like, we ain't doing nothing for the community. Like, So you wanted to do that stuff? I remember. Because grandma was giving back on Saturdays. Exactly. I remember one of my first passionate speeches that I knew, like, okay, was at a high school. And how I got in there, because I really wanted the girl that got me in there, I was trying to talk to her. And she introduced me to her mom. Her mom was in control of the the program. And when I went in there and spoke, I lit the room up, and I was just telling my story. Yeah. And she was like, you got something. You got the it. So that everybody's been telling you for a long time. Yeah, like you got the it. Yeah. You got the it. You just got to really package it right and get it together. Right. So what I did was I started speaking a little bit more. Everywhere I would go, because I always had, that passion. I always had that coming at you live, baby. So that's been your thing for a minute. But that's what people like. When people start seeing me speaking, and people was like, yo, how's you getting booked for this? I was literally I was doing it the super difficult way. What's that? I was knocking on all the doors. I was doing all the phone calls. Work. Yeah, I was literally pulling up the homeless shelters. How can I speak? I used to be homeless. I know how it felt to be homeless. So let me come in there and speak. This is all out in LA still. Yeah, so now I'm building a relationship with the homeless shelter. I did a women and children shelter. And that's when I knew I had a gift, because
I watched them women in there really get in that emotion. They start crying.
Dang.
Because I used to be homeless, so I can relate.
Yeah,
so I knew how to relate. Like, and I was speaking wholly from the heart. I actually did a toy drive in that actual shelter too. So people knew me. It wasn't just like I'm coming in here to speak to y'all one time. I always came back. I always showed love.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that really changed the thing for me too. Like just speaking and just being motivated and giving back. I didn't never like hanging out on Hollywood. I always wanted to go to Watts. Like Watts is like the hood in LA. I wanted to go to Inglewood. I wanted to go talk to the people.
Yeah.
I was always big on the people.
That's dope, man, because that's you. How old were you at the time?
At the time, I probably was like 24, 25.
Yeah, that's real dope because you don't think a lot of people want to think about the people in the height of, I wouldn't say the height, but just in the preparatory stages of their careers. Like, I gotta get it. I'm not worried about giving back at the moment, but it's just.
What really did it for me too, because when I was on like tours and I was going all these different places, and people started saying me like, "Oh, that's yo, he's super great, he's funny," but people will always be like, "Yo, tell me about The Wire," or tell me something to make me laugh," and I'm like, "Yo,
I'm not ever here for jokes.
I'm not here for making people laugh right now. I want you to understand the process."
So you were trying to separate yourself from the motivational speaker to. You try to separate motivational speaker and the comedy. Yeah.
When I first started, I was doing both. I had when I had to create my website, I had both of them on there. But then I started noticing that when I'm going to these schools, teachers and principals would get distracted. Like, wait a minute,
which one are you?
You got both of these things up here.
Right. So are we bringing you to do a comedy show, or are you trying to you're gonna motivate our kids?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I realized like, okay, I know I got to pick one. Got to pick one, and people start.
So you niching down.
Yeah, I niched it down, and I was like, how can I really help and build more? Because I'm like, my city is hurting. People is hurting. If people knew the information, like information changed lives. If people knew the information that I had at the time, I always was trying to get back. You gotta be careful when you're trying to get back so quickly and not understand people. The thing about people, they will also get like my man said earlier when he was up here.
Yeah.
People say the wildest, craziest things. You gotta understand people. You can't just expect people just to get it immediately, like how just because you got the information.
Facts. That is true.
Like one thing my mentor told me, and I didn't understand it when I was a kid. He told me, he said, "You know how dangerous it is to wake up an angry nigga while you sleep." And he got that message from, I think it was from the Black Panther movement. To wake up an angry nigga, he might come out and do anything. He might hurt you.
That's powerful.
That was the one thing that really changed my life. It really changed my life at the time. Cause he always would give me jewels. Like he always gave me like little stuff.
Yeah.
As I got older, I found out he would just drop jewels on me. So when I went out there and I started trying to give information to the youth and help out people, I was pulling up on schools, knocking on people, because people wanted to do what I was doing. But I was literally doing the footwork. I promise you I was.
Pulling up on schools.
And I didn't have nobody that was like a team. How I would fake. When I talk to, this is his assistant, Mr. Carter, I would do the whole process. I was cool. That's the part where I really like to tell people, I was cool with the process.
Yeah.
I was totally fine with the process. Like, I always use it when I go to like schools and speaking at schools, and I tell people, I said, they got this commercial, I don't remember this commercial, I don't know how old you is, but this commercial, the Like Mike commercial, I want to be like Mike. When the kids came running around, like, I want to be like Mike. That commercial, like I did the research on when I looked it up. He sold like I'm gonna say definitely over $1 million worth of shoes just over that commercial. Because people wanted to be like Mike.
Facts.
I want to fly. If I put these shoes on, I'm gonna fly like Mike. But they didn't look at the part when he did the process. That's the part where they missed. They missed the whole process on my man when he got cut from the team.
Yeah.
They missed the whole process when he was in there working. They missed the whole process when he was in there with the stomach virus. They missed the whole process on the work that he put in before all them time. They missed the whole process on the effort that he put in.
Right.
They don't want to do that. They want to fly like Mike.
They want to put the kicks on, and then I can dunk.
If I put these shoes on, I can be like Michael Jordan. That's what they firmly feel like.
Dang. So, what brought you? How'd you get to Atlanta?
So, to break it down, because I know we've been in it for a minute.
You good.
Okay. All right. So I was grinding, like I was super passionate, like, coming at you live, I'm doing these videos and I'm super fired up and I'm being motivational, but I didn't have nobody to guide me. Didn't have nobody to. I saw.
You were mad wise.
Yeah, I didn't have nobody.
Because like, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I'm listening.
Because you have something. I see why people say you got that it. Because as you're telling your story, you're saying a lot of wise things within your story. I gotta go to school, I gotta go back and help people. I gotta, you're just saying like a lot of wise things. And it's like, I don't know if you even notice it or not. No,
I'm gonna tell you this another thing. Cause like how you said that, I had a guy I don't know if you ever seen on Netflix. It's a guy named David Arnold. You seen David Arnold? He got the special called The Fat Ballerina. And he was the first person in LA that told me like, bro, you have a lot of bars that you say and you don't even realize you said it. He said that, like how you said trauma, he just showed me, he said, I used to talk, it was a thing on stage that I said where I would talk about how I felt more comfortable going to Narcotic Anonymous meetings than going to actual church.
Why?
And he was like, that showed me about your childhood right then and there.
He said that was a place of comfort.
That was a place. I used to go to Narcotic Anonymous meetings with my dad when I was younger. So that's the thing, one of the reasons why I never got strung out on drugs. Because I was going there when I was 11 and 9 years old.
You seem like this is what drugs do.
These my bedtime stories.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, so that's how it
yeah, like this was what I used to always see. We would go to these meetings and I would listen to these stories of these people being on drugs and how they got off, or how a person might have been on drugs 20 times and relapsed over 10. I heard the wildest stories when I was younger. And like how they was a brotherhood, can't change the drug. Like they had a whole like a family and a community. How they had sponsors and stuff. I seen how that worked.
And you ain't want that.
And then when I went to LA, I remember, like I said, being homeless at the time. I remember when walking into a church, because I'm like, oh, this is where grandma, big mama would go to get help. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go here, and they're gonna show me love, but they didn't.
Dang.
It kind of stood off on me, or they didn't matter, they wouldn't even touch me. So
sorry, man, but no. I want to touch on that because I think we've heard this story time and time again where people pull up to the church. I'm not bashing the church. I grew up in the church.
Yeah,
I love the church. Yeah, I just want people to know that because people will think that he bashed because he got hurt.
Nah. I'm not bashing it. I still show love to church. It's love.
But it's like, what was that feeling like? Because you saying that's where Big Mama went, so that taught you. Okay, let me go to the church and I can get some help because that's where Big Mama helped.
It hurted me a whole lot. The fact that these people turned on me. I thought this was the happy space.
Yeah.
But since I couldn't get it here, I'm like, okay.
I gotta get it somewhere.
Right. I just took that pain that they had, and I took that on stage. I talked about it on stage. And that's why I bottled that energy. When I brought it on stage, I would talk about how when I came back in there, I had a suit on.
Yeah.
They was like, oh, brother, you want to be on the brother board, the deacon board. You could be on this board. Come on, brother, come on in. And I talked about it on stage and made people laugh, but I channeled that energy into something positive.
That's dope that you can do that, man. I couldn't do it.
But it's a certain passion. You have to have a certain passion about what you do it.
That is true.
Because that's why people are like, yo, you still do the comedy? Like, you don't do the skits? And I'm like, bro, I don't really like doing skits. I like the stage. I like to tell the story. I like the process. I love that part. I enjoy the breakdown on jokes.
Got you.
So when I started to fast forward up, when I started to shift into your passion power, and I started building on that, I realized, though, even though I'm speaking all these places and I love speaking, and I'm doing this great, and this is so great, and this is excellent.
Yeah.
And I found my passion, and I'm loving this, and I created this. I went to go get my LLC. It's not bringing no money.
That first stage of business, it don't.
It's not bringing in no money. So now I'm like, what is going on? I'm doing right. I'm doing everything right. I'm speaking. I'm motivating. I'm inspiring. Why I'm not getting paid?
Where's the check at?
Where's the money?
Yeah.
I'm knocking on all these doors. I'm driving all around here, burning all my gas. Where's the bread?
LA gas ain't cheap.
Not cheap at all. And people was just like, oh yeah, just keep on doing it. Just keep on being up.
Where's the money coming from? Like, if you're fired?
I'm doing all these rinky-dink jobs. Because I had people that still genuinely like me.
Yeah.
So me getting a job was easy. Like, it's like, oh, hey, bro, my man owns a security company. You can work for me for a second. Boom. And that actually, I started understanding how small business works by working at a security company. I knew the owner first, so I understand the process, how he break down the payroll, how he structured out his emails when he go on to different contracts. I started learning so many skills from just working in there. I met a guy through the process of when I was working for Southwest, and he used to fly a lot of my passes. I met a guy, and he seen that I was always willing to work. I was always a worker. Like I was always willing to serve. How can I help? How can I help people out? Just willing to serve. And in the midst of that, I met him while he was starting his company.
Yeah.
And he was just like, man, I can show you how to get some money. So he would always see me in the process of like building and building and building. Yeah, building. He always saw me like I support you. I like what you're doing. And I would always support him. I like what you're doing. But he was the first person that actually, I ain't gonna sit here and lie, he was the first person that showed me the concept of doing events. That's where the Carter production actually came from.
You have a production company too?
Yeah, I do like far as on marketing and branding, I do like the silent headphone events.
Word.
That's me. I'm the guy that's behind that a lot. So what I started to learn, that's where the money was coming from. That's gonna fund the play. Mind you, I always had that hustle, I always had that grind. With his company, kind of speeded up. When I first got in, I'm like, man, I don't really know. I mean, this is some party stuff. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I had 1 or 2 accounts. Put me in $1,200.
What?
Put me in $1,200, 1 or 2 accounts.
Dang.
So I'm looking like, oh, this is $1,200.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Yeah, so like $1,200, and I'm not even working a 9 to 5. I'm just working on a weekend.
Let's run it up.
Right. So that's why I said, okay, every morning I'm waking up calling this guy. 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm calling him before his girl, mama, everybody calling. Cause I'm in this now. I'm all the way in. I'm invested. I'm like, yo, if I make $1,200 doing this, boy, if I can just do this, and this, that was my first time even seeing, like, as the time go by, like I had 35 accounts. I wound up having 35 different parties all across the country.
Doing the silent party.
Headphones. And nobody knew. It was to the point that I didn't, while I'm sitting here watching people I knew going to work 9 to 5, working at their job 10, 20 years, or people I knew that middle-aged America, a lot of people was making between $20,000 and $30,000 a year from where I'm from. I'm like, bro, I just hit 10,000 in a month. So now I'm not even looking at how people think of $1,000 anymore. I'm not looking at that.
Your whole perspective.
My whole perspective. When you touch 10,000 in a month of legal money,
right.
Your whole perspective is different.
Yeah.
Now you're like, okay,
I can legally bring in 10 G's a month. I can sleep well, comfortably, without looking over my shoulder no more.
But at the time, this the part where people mix that though. At the time, I'm doing 35 different events a month.
How are you?
I'm getting other people to work them too.
But how are you managing these 35 accounts by yourself?
No, I'm saying I manage them on the back end, but it's a team of us. But like I say,
so every city you got somebody who can just pretty much work the events.
That's what I said. At the time, I was a worker. I was underneath somebody. I was just a really good two-man. I was a really, really, really good two-man that was willing to go whatever you want me to do, I'm there. 100% I'm all in. Whatever you need me to do, I'm there. Wow. I'm the guy. Like I said, I'm on the road. Like even to the day, I was on the road every weekend. If I wasn't on the road, I'm not making no money. I'm on the road driving 10, 15 hours anywhere, flying to these events. I'm setting up the bags. Where are they going to go? I'm doing a lot of work. 100%. On the weekend, we make bread. We was making a lot of bread to the point that, but also what that comes with, a lot of stress too. What that comes with is, now you smoking, you drinking. Now you got, it's almost like you're living a rapper lifestyle, because now you never touched 10,000, you don't even know how to manage 10,000.
Yeah.
A regular person can't even tell you how to manage 10,000.
Right.
They never saw that.
It's gone quick.
Yeah, so now you making 10,000 consistently. I made it 3 months in a row. Now you sitting up 30.
You made a whole salary.
That's what I'm saying. So when I'm to the point that now I'm getting fresh every weekend. I'm blowing through the bread. Like, I'm blowing bread. Smoking big weed. I'm living the rapper life. I'm buying chains. I'm buying hotels. I'm doing whatever I want. But no one's telling me how to manage money.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
No one's telling me, okay, if you take this money, you can really go buy some property, or you can go do this, or you can fix your credit. I didn't know anybody about none of that. I got money now.
Yeah, like, I hear that.
When I go back home, I'm living how I want to live.
Like, I do what I want to do. Stay in the 5-star, whatever it may be.
But when money comes, change people. Things start changing.
Yeah.
The relationship start changing with me and the guy too, because I had a situation that occurred in one of the accounts that I had where a guy tried to climb through the window. And like you said, trauma. that had my anxiety literally. I'm on 10 now. Like, I start riding around with guns all the time. Every time I would go to these different cities.
So you try to climb through the window while you're there?
Yeah, at the hotel.
At the hotel?
Yeah, just so happened I was on the phone with the chick I was talking to at the time. But he tried to climb through the window of the hotel while I was there. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure who the person was, but when I talked to the person that owned the company, I'm telling him about the situation. He was like, well, did he get the bags? Did he get the bags? Did he get the stuff? Did he get the product? But I'm like, me being a people's person, going back to the beginning of our story.
Yeah.
The fact that my man didn't even care about me at all. Dang. So I said, okay, how can I get away from this relationship? How can I separate? You can keep all these accounts. You can keep all your own thing. I already got the skill. I'm going to start my own process.
Yeah.
Started my own process. 2019, I started my own process. It's called an L. Called an L. I invested in, bought all the stuff, and I'm thinking this money just about to jump out.
I did it before.
I did it before. I do it again. It's nothing.
Dang.
Quarter L, 2019. You know, the year before the pandemic. So 2019 just went. A couple years just went past. 2019, a quarter L because I'm trying. Mind you, you're getting 10,000 a month, and then everything just slows down.
Dang.
I haven't worked a whole job in 3-4 years in that process. So now you got to figure out what I'm going to do. How can you, I had to go research marketing. I had to go read books studying marketing. I had to learn and really teach myself one-on-one about marketing and study. And also, I just so happened to be in Sleepless for Nights. And I also would be around great people. So I started to see the people that was doing these things.
Right.
I just had a community of people around that was doing these things, the marketing and stuff. So I'm just like, okay, boom, if I put this together with this, boom, boom, boom. And I'm learning different things through Sleepless Nights. Mm-hmm. And I'm also learning how, okay, this is what Dave's doing when it comes to this.
Right.
He's one of the greatest people I know as far as when it comes to marketing and stuff like that. So I started learning certain things about marketing, know, like, trust.
Know, like, trust.
Yeah, if a person see you, I always tell that to a lot of people. Any of the people that I work with, like some of my guys that's under me, person see you, they know this person, they like this person, they trust this person. Mm-hmm. So say, for example, like if you was coming to one of my events in Atlanta and say, for example, something like this, like in this space.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put me on the video. I would put you in the video telling me how dope this event is. They know you, they like you, and they trust you. And I would use that video to sell more tickets to people because they already know you, like you, and trust you. So, for example...
So that's the hack.
That's the hack. One of the marketing, I don't really get out of the way, but I always tell like my people that, my in-house, the know, like, trust factor. Like when I do something, like people don't even realize how stuff work in their mind. Like one of my guys, he told me, he said, bro, you realize if you make 10,000 10 times, if you do what you did 10 times, $100,000. You make $100,000, you can make $1 million.
That's true.
If you do it 10 times, you can do it. So then he gave me the breakdown. He said, I'm gonna tell you this. He the one who taught me the game. He said, look here. If you ever understand, nothing is by accident. If you ever walk in Macy's, if you ever notice why when you walk into the fragrance aisle and why certain things is on a certain way. He said most people that's average person, they're right-handed. So they know how to put stuff on the right hand because they know you're gonna turn to the right first. When you go in a casino, you ever notice why the slot machines is always in the front? Because it's dinging and it's the loudest noise.
So it's catching your attention.
It's catching your attention.
As soon as you walk in.
It's lighting up.
And it's making you think that somebody's winning, even though they may not be winning because of...
100%. We know how to get you. That ding, 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 ding. We know what stuff is going on.
That's very... These joints ain't comfortable.
It's very intentional. It's very intentional. Nothing is by accident. So even when I'm doing these events, I always record people that's doing these events. People in that city, so they talk like people that's in their city. Like for example, their accent, their style, the way they talk. Same way. If you go to these beauty supply stores, they don't, like most people that work there, they don't put them on there. They put the black sister on the beauty supply. They put her on there, the most beautiful black woman. That's what they use. Know, like, trust. I know this is what you want to look like. I know you like this, and you will trust this. Soon as you come in.
Dang.
So I took that same energy, started really, like I said, I always had to grind, started really investing into my work. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna learn this marketing thing, I'm gonna learn this business thing, I'm gonna learn this. I started studying it. I got into another company, Grindation, with Kendall.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed with people though. far as the average person, we focusing on how to get money. So we like, we got to get money, but we can't even focus and study on what exactly. So now when the money's coming in, now I can focus.
Yeah.
Now I can breathe something a little bit.
Because our problem is solved.
Yeah, the problem is solved. So that's one thing with Kendall. Kendall, being in grindation has taught me as far as manhood. Like that was one reason why I actually went to go get a therapist. I wanted to go start fixing some of the trauma that I was going through.
I applaud you, man, because therapy is dope.
Yeah, but I didn't know. Now it's a cool thing. Like,
it's definitely popular right now. I don't know if a lot of people are taking it serious though.
But it's like I didn't know until somebody till I got in his coaching program, and he was like, because one thing I noticed with Sleepless Nights, Dave was teaching you entrepreneur. That's his main thing. I'm gonna teach you how to get this entrepreneur off the ground. But if you're struggling with a lot of traumas and a lot of things with your personal self, you need to get that right before you get your business right.
Facts, because I believe that who you are personally becomes who you are as a business person.
Exactly.
And I've experienced that personally.
100%.
Because I realized, my procrastination in real life led to procrastination in business.
100%.
My trauma in real life led to trauma in my business.
100%.
I'm bleeding all of my trauma into my business.
100%.
Customers are seeing it. Clients are seeing it.
That's one thing what Kendall always say. Get yourself right first.
Yes.
Get yourself right.
If y'all don't get anything else out of this podcast,
get yourself right first.
Facts.
That's one thing I took that information when he said, get yourself right first. Because he would say, bro, like, what you rushing for? He said, even though you got to go get a little 9-to-5 job or whatever you need to go get, don't rush. Break down, just get yourself together. That's when I first joined his program, that's when he said, take time just to get you right. The business and stuff going to come.
Yeah.
Get yourself right. Get your mindset right. Once you get your mindset right, then get your health right. Get your relationships right. That's the core 5. Like, he got a whole thing with like, when you get in the program, it's like, oh, that'll change your whole perspective on life.
Right.
But like I said, kind of go back to what we were talking about. I'm like, man, I'm passionate about when I'm speaking, and I'm motivated, and I'm inspired, and I love coming at you live, and these videos is great.
Yeah.
But then when you meet somebody like Kendall, he's like, yo, I see what you're doing, that's dope, but I understand why you're not getting paid. You're not fixing a problem, you're motivating people. Money exchange hands when problems are solved. So what that turned into was me getting a problem to fix. So what I did was I created something called Lit Workshops. That was my workshop. That's my first course that I built up. I go to schools and I do that, the Lit Workshop. Because everybody I learned from doing events in my other company, Carter Productions, I learned people love to get lit. So I would call it Lit Workshops. Because when I tell them, I went to schools and I did it for free. Do it for free, try it out.
That's cool,
I've done it free a few times to try it out to see the work, the nicks and the knacks out of it before I even put it in play and see how it works on students. So what I did was, I noticed that students love to get lit too. When they hear lit, they just think excitement.
Something about the junk go down.
Something about it. We getting lit. So, and it's quick to remember. Learning intelligent techniques for social emotional learning. So now I'm getting you. That's one thing I learned from also watching Derek Grace. Our people, you have to trick them into education.
Facts.
That's what he did with his board game and made him millions of dollars.
Bread.
Right. So you have to trick them into kind of getting what social emotional learning is. You have to trick them into understanding what it is.
Yeah.
And I know from the little kid that grew up in West Side Baltimore, if he would have knew the process of, okay, it's a thing called social emotional learning. It's a thing off on controlling your emotions. It's a thing of understanding this. You mean to tell me if I understand how to control my emotions and be responsible?
Yeah.
And now I can go to these places and say, we can show you, because I keep the same energy the whole time. Hey, we gonna get lit. But I'm giving you
still teaching them these principles
and breaking it down to them.
And you're thinking like, had I had this as this kid from West Side Baltimore growing up, not saying that my journey, my path would have to be different, anything like that, but it's just like, I just felt I could have been able to control the inner me a lot better.
Of course, 125%.
That's dope.
120.
That's dope.
I wouldn't have been bleeding on so many relationships. Like just the mindset we have growing up in West Side Baltimore is survival.
Yeah.
I don't care about you. We trying to survive. We hustling.
Yeah.
That's the mindset you have. So through any relationship when I was coming in, I was running into. I already knew before somebody do something, I'm gonna do something to probably get about this relationship. I need to survive.
Yeah.
That's always the mindset I had.
So you pretty much you're pretty much running from the things that you actually need to face.
Yeah, I was doing that a lot before I realized social emotional, before I even got a therapist, before I really was like, I need to really fix myself.
Yeah, so let's touch on therapy then.
Got it.
Because I believe therapy for black men, black women, for our community is very, very, very important.
100%.
I have a therapist that I see for the most part every Friday.
Got it.
And it's helped me understand so much about my trauma. You know, from being a sexual abuse victim of trauma one time, it's helped me understand, like you said, avoidance, escape, how to, accept things for what they are, and how to process things. Like, how has therapy been for you?
Therapy, shout out my man Ken for real.
That's my guy.
Shout out to Ken. One thing that he always is still like if you listen to the story and you understand my story, everything about being helping others.
Yeah.
How can I help others, or how can I do this for this person, or how Big Mama taught me how to give back to people. So he always remind me, like, you got to do something for you every day to bring you joy.
Yeah.
At least one thing for you
for sure.
to bring you joy. And then he taught me the importance of balance in your life, because I know I'm a person when I'm all in on it.
Yeah.
I don't have no balance.
Nothing else.
I don't care about eating. I don't care about nothing. This is what I'm all in on. I'm doing this.
Yep.
Like, just the importance of balance and having healthy relationships with people, and having boundaries with people, and being okay with that, saying no from people.
Yeah, because boundaries are important. Because I still sometimes got terrible boundaries. Like,
Yeah.
You want? I got. Yeah.
That's what I learned. Far as me, and then far as the relationship with therapists. Therapy also helped me with is the relationship to build with me and my dad. The relationship also, but I also understand, because I'm a person that if a person got a problem, I embody that problem.
Yeah,
especially if I care about them. I'm taking that problem home.
You taking that problem home with you?
Right. I'm taking the problem home with me. And if they don't want to get it fixed, if they don't want to get it, I'm hurt.
Yeah, because you're an empath.
Yeah, I'm super sick. I'm in the bed like hurt.
Like, how can I fix this for them? Like, how can I make their situation better, not realizing that your situation that you're currently in needs to be fixed first?
100%.
So it's like, when it comes to these boundaries, I think a lot of people, they kind of fail to realize that you got to put you first before you put somebody else's situation first. Because what happens is you're embodying, like you said, you're embodying their situation. Then you're embodying the situation that you got going with yourself.
100%.
And then you're pretty much re-traumatizing yourself.
Exactly.
Because you're putting yourself through an experience that you've never been through.
Exactly.
So you're like, if, I trip and I fall and I bust my head open.
100%.
You may have never experienced busting your head open, but now you're embodying my experience.
Exactly.
And trying to understand it. And sometimes you just can't. Sometimes some people experience you just can't understand.
And that's, to be honest with you, that's the relationship with me and my therapist. I told him, I said that my dad's situation, he would never even see no possible way of hitting, a $10,000 a month without lottery, or without some quick little scheme or something involved. He would never even think about $10,000. Like I said, Big Mama never even thought about going to an island. I took my sister to Puerto Rico when I got money. So that's what I'm saying. Like, like, when you start to see things different, like even when I was going through my situations, my sister still flew to LA. She got to see LA. She got to see Chicago. She got to see all these different places when I was flying all of these places. And that was love. That's what I said. Like, that's the thing. The exposure definitely changed my whole life completely.
Yeah. So exposure is definitely important.
Exposure in the process. Because people, like you said, on the internet, that's why I be laughing a lot of times now. Because I used to be like, I be laughing because people embody certain things. Like, I'm not dissing Dave enough, but people don't understand the process. I just was telling Dave that outside. People don't understand the process. I remember when you was in here doing workday Wednesdays when nobody would show up. Now you, boom, fired. Oh yeah, everybody just love Dave and he's hot. And I'm like, that's super dope, but people don't understand the process when my man was restaurant with him. He was like, they don't understand the process where he kept staying consistent. That's the hard. People don't understand the process of him day in and day out. When nobody don't show, all right, this what we're gonna do it again. Like, doing it again?
Like, why am I doing this again? Like, it didn't work the first time. What's the point? But like you said, it's that repetition. I think a lot of people just don't believe in themselves enough to keep repeating the process. It's like, I gotta try something different.
But and also people don't believe in, like, it ain't even that. That's what I be loving. They ever just go buy followers and buy likes just so they can just imitate what you trying to got going on. They go get around a little fake one. they'll get a whole bunch of fake accounts and fake different situations and just, oh man, we want to make sure I have a bunch of likes like how he got.
You gotta come from somewhere, right? That's trauma. That's trauma all day, because it's like you gotta, if you have to put on this facade as in this is who I am to get people to like me. Once upon a time, people didn't actually like you, or you thought people didn't like you.
Exactly. That's really the truth.
Yeah.
100%. I see it happen to so many people. That's why they, like when you go through people, like when I did the videos, when I first started the videos, it's one thing, I ain't got that research from just studying, just watching. The people that you're competing against, the girl with the big butt, the guy that's with the rapper, the guy that's doing this, the entertainment guy, the guru guy, the Gary V cussing a lot.
Yeah.
Like you got so many different things to scroll through.
A lot of heavy insecurities out
Right.
here.
So now it's like you gotta really do something to stand out. So that's one of the things that like people like, yo, well, why are you yelling? Or why are you so fired up? They're coming at you live. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna come at them live with this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be fired up with this one. That was already me, but now I really just took it to the next level. That's still me. Like,
yeah,
I got a video
all the time.
But because that's the part where people didn't understand the process. Like you see that videos, I'm like, yo, your energy always pumped up. When I was home, I stopped caring what people thought about me. I took that same energy. I started running across the street downtown LA while people was walking across. You know how busy downtown LA? Everybody's walking.
Congested.
I had a tripod and I ran across the street coming at you live, baby. And people looking at it like, yo, he's
Have you posted that
crazy.
recently?
No, I posted it when I was living in LA. I can post it though. I posted.
I feel like I've seen you do that before,
Yeah,
though. And I was like, this joke is nuts.
Yeah, I ran across the, but it wasn't on because I'm watching Wallow. It wasn't even nothing about that.
Nah.
It was, I really don't care what nobody think about me.
Yeah,
I'm totally cool. I'm totally fine.
That's a dope space to be.
Yeah,
man.
I'm totally fine if you don't like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with me.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I'm totally cool with me. When I'm going to places and people are like, yo, why you doing motivational, bro? Like you doing that motivation ain't that, bro. I love this. I love this space that I'm in. I'm cool with this. This is a positive space.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay, you lit up some more.
Yeah,
like, when you start talking about this, man, you lit up some more.
I love that space because it's almost giving you the same feeling of how comedy is. Like comedy makes you laugh and the excitement, but then with motivational is really just it's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different. It's almost like that feeling when you get and it's like, oh, I can really go run through the wall. I can really make something happen.
Yeah. That's dope, man. Yo, I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, man. That's what I said. I appreciate
you coming through, man. Because you taught me some more about yourself. You taught me some more about myself. You taught me some things that that I've learned from you throughout this whole conversation, man.
But even another time, I don't even think you know this. How dope you are.
I appreciate it.
I always tell people that story. I don't even know if you remember when they had like what was it? They had some type of, what was it, CJ and Eric Thomas, and they had some type of, Candace was down here speaking.
Yeah.
But that's why I tell people the importance of serving. I tell people the importance of serving. I said, that was on a Saturday. I know it was on a Saturday because the fact that Dave had his event Friday, the meeting Friday. I was only in here to help clean up.
Yeah.
I only wanted to clean.
I remember you hit me up.
I was like, bro, I said, everybody was leaving like, oh, shake hands and leaving. I said, bro, I just want to help clean up. Like, what you need me to do, help you serve? I was just trying to serve in the space. How can I help clean up? And he was like, bro, you come down here tomorrow, you can clean up some more if you want.
I stopped turning down I stopped.
You can clean up some more if you want. They got the speakers conference going on down there. And it was just like, just listening to that really was like, that's how things work. I tell people, certain, like you said, the people that curves in, like the people that just impact your life the most.
Yeah.
You don't even realize it. Dave had the conference. I bought a VIP because that's why I was getting money. I bought a VIP seat to sit up front and be with everybody, the elite people and everything. So I'm like I'm at the time I'm really into ink. Really into inky. I'm studying and watching everything the ink do. You feel me? I got the shirt. I'm ready to get my man. Like I'm on it for real. Like, I'm like, man, if I could just meet him. Like I got my VIP. I know I'm gonna meet my man, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as he finished speaking, he left. He left immediately right when he finished speaking. So fast forward, go by. You put me in a room and my man walked right on in. I was just so happy to be in the building cleaning. So when I met him, he was like, bro.
I remember you.
Yeah, no, he was just like, because I was telling him, I said, man, the photographer, he was like, man, like you almost ran me down to get to him. I said, man, I just wanted, just to shake his hand. I just wanted to beat this guy so bad, but at the same time, that's how I said how things work. He met me in a space where I was serving, I was cleaning. Mm-hmm. I was fixing the tables up. Yeah. I wanted him to meet me in a space where I was getting money. I wanted him to meet me in that, but he met me in a space where I was changing the trash can. So that's why I said, like, just in that space, that I said, I was humble. Yeah. When I met him, I shook his hand. Hey, man, look, I see what you're doing. I appreciate everything that you're doing. I wish I had the shirt to give him at the time. Right. But the thing about it is, it was a space where, if it wasn't for you, brother, I probably wouldn't have met that man that time.
Hey, man, I appreciate you wanting to help. It's hard to find people to like truly, genuinely just want to 100%. Help. Not because I want to show up because Inky's there or ET's there. I genuinely. I don't think I even told you what the event was, did I?
No, you never even told me what the event was. You said, yo, you want to clean up in the morning? I said, bro, I got you if you need my help.
It was early too. It was early morning too.
In the morning.
Yes. It was early, man. And it's hard to find true, genuine people who like, I want to pull up because I want to just help you. Or I just want to just help. Or I just want to be in the, not even that, because people use help to be in the environment.
Yeah, but my thing was, I knew you was a good brother. I knew you was a good brother, so whatever you're doing is out of common good.
Yeah.
So if I can just help, bro, like, I know the love will come back. I know it wasn't like, oh yeah, he gonna do this for me. But I know, it's like how most people probably, when they do the deacon board or whatever in church, they serve and, it's love. They're not getting paid for it, but it's love.
For sure.
So that's how I look at it, like, oh man, if I can just show love, I know, bro, it's love with us.
Man, this podcast would be about you, not me.
I'm just telling you, I'm just saying, bro, like, just on, because even with you the one person, when I first called up somebody like for therapy, bro, I don't know nothing about it from zero. I don't know nothing. Yeah. When can I get help? Instantly, you want like, you need therapy. You know how most people are like, oh man, you crazy, you getting therapy? Yeah. But what you need that therapy thing for? Right, you like, boom, I got you, just hold tight, I got somebody for you, boom. But that's what I said, that love, that genuine love, to be able to serve people, that's a special gift in you too.
Man, I appreciate that. Bro.
I appreciate you.
Man. It gets no better than that, man. I heard it live here on the Living Blessed podcast with, we got people telling stories of overcoming and how they have jumped into overcoming from trauma to triumph. So now you're a whole business owner.
So now, all right, I got two business going on. Let me
tell them about the business real quick and how they can find you.
Got you. I got two business going on. I'm going to just say this because I want to make sure somebody else that need to get this space. I just was always serving. That's the main thing, serving. Not being afraid. Going out there being passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
Going out there getting it. Being real passionate about what you do. Like, despite on whatever may circumstances, if it don't work, it don't work, but I'm just going to go all in with this. I believe in this. I true heartedly believe in this. Yeah. One thing Neil always say, this gotta work, this gotta work.
Facts.
That's what I remember hearing that, and I was like, I can remember that.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's like, you have to truly believe in whatever you say you're gonna do. I mean, if you put yourself all in, you're gonna get the results results sooner or later.
Yep.
You gotta put yourself all in. Another gem I wanna give people, like, I never even thought about making, I ain't trying to count my pockets, but I never even thought about making a $5,000 check, like, in a month. Because I was only used to getting $600 a week.
Yeah.
$500 a week. I never even thought about that. So I started getting around people that's talking about making $20,000 in one play.
The conversation's different.
The whole conversation is different.
It's different, bro.
Oh yeah, I made $50,000. It's nothing.
Yeah, like they just talk like, oh, that's it. Like there's been conversations I've been around. Hey man, I just had my first 100K day. That's it. You just not do it. I'm like, what you mean? I'm trying for 100K a year. So man, those environments are so completely crucial.
Different. And you be like, well, how did you do it? And then if people that know, like, and trust you, oh man, this is how I did it.
Yeah, get the whole play.
They give you the whole play.
And then you realize, like, dang, that's it?
That's all you did was do this? You mean to tell me you wasn't working physically hard?
Yeah. Nah. Like, you just did boom, 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 and then you had a 100K day.
Literally, I tell people, I said, all I did to get to, because I mean, somebody watch this video and hopefully it add value. Like I said, the know, like, trust. You want to know, like, trust, and then you want to study whatever market that you do, you want to study it. You want to know this thing better than they know your like knowing the avatar, knowing this person better than they know themselves. I remember getting that from Sleepless Nights, knowing the avatar, studying the avatar, day in and day out, night in and night out. You want to know exactly everything about this person.
Facts.
100%. What they like, where they shop, where they go, where they hang out at, everything. So I started to spend time on knowing my avatar. I knew exactly from, and then being with Kendall, you got to know the difference between knowing your audience and knowing your client. You go into them schools, my audience is the students, but my client is the principal.
Ooh.
You have to know. Oh, I'm giving you some balls right now. I'm giving you some balls. Because this is the part where people miss. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just go out and just speak to kids and do this, and people miss this.
Yeah.
So even if you're doing whatever market that you're doing, whatever you have to know the ideal. And then, honestly, the audience would tell you what they really like and what they don't like. They would tell you.
Yeah.
Based off of when that check comes, they'll tell you. People saying, well, they ain't gonna pay $200 for those slides. They ain't gonna pay $600 for them slides until they make Gucci flip-flops. So I just want to make sure somebody get that today. I appreciate y'all for watching this video.
I appreciate you,
Make sure y'all keep tapping in with my man right here. Because I see my man working. He gonna be coming at y'all live all year.
Live. Oh, you got it one more time.
Man, you already know what it is. We gotta keep coming at you. Live, baby. Let's get it in.
It gets no better than that. Peace.
Appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you.